Your biggest competitor just called, wanting to meet. Your first instinct? Hang up. Your second? Wonder what trap they're setting. But here's what 95% of business leaders get wrong about this scenario. They're seeing a threat when they should be seeing their biggest untapped opportunity. I'm David White, and in the next 8-9 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why that competitor's call could be the most profitable conversation you'll have this year. You'll discover the counterintuitive partnership strategy that premium brands use to turn their fiercest rivals into their most valuable allies, the specific framework that's driving 28% of mature company revenue, and why 75% of luxury trade flows through partnerships rather than direct competition. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap to transform competitive threats into collaborative gold mines. Let's start with a truth that makes most executives uncomfortable. Your competitor isn't your enemy. They're your mirror. They're facing the same market challenges, the same customer demands, the same operational pressures as you. And here's the paradox. The more similar you are to your competitor, the more valuable a partnership becomes. Consider this: when Apple and IBM partnered in 2014, everyone called it impossible. Two companies that had been rivals for decades suddenly collaborating on enterprise solutions. The result? IBM's enterprise apps running on Apple devices generated billions in revenue for both companies. They didn't compromise their individual strengths. They amplified them. Here's what the data tells us. Premium brands are 3 times more likely to collaborate with competitors than budget brands. Why? Because premium positioning requires market expansion, not market domination. When you're fighting for the top tier, you need allies who understand that territory. But here's what most people miss. And this isn't about being friendly with your competition. This is about strategic leverage. Every partnership decision should make you stronger, not weaker. Every collaboration should expand your authority, not dilute it. Let's talk numbers, because partnerships aren't just feel-good strategies, they're profit engines. Strategic alliances now drive 28% of mature company revenue. That's more than a quarter of total income coming from collaborative relationships rather than direct sales. In the luxury sector, this number jumps dramatically. 75% of luxury trade flows through partnerships. Think about that. 3/4 of high-end transactions involve multiple parties working together. Fashion houses collaborating with tech companies, premium car manufacturers partnering with luxury hotels, high-end consulting firms creating alliance networks. But here's the critical distinction. These aren't desperate moves by struggling companies. These are strategic decisions by market leaders who understand multiplication beats addition every time. When you partner strategically, you're not sharing your slice of the pie. You're creating entirely new pies. Take the consulting industry. The most successful firms don't compete on price. They compete on ecosystem. McKinsey doesn't just sell consulting. They sell access to a network of implementation partners, technology providers, and specialist firms. Their competitors aren't threats. They're potential network nodes. Your competitor called because they recognize what you might be missing. That collaboration can create value that neither of you could generate alone. The question isn't whether you should meet with them. The question is whether you're prepared to think strategically about what that meeting could accomplish. So how do you turn that competitor's call into a strategic advantage? I'm going to give you the exact framework I use with my clients to evaluate and structure competitive partnerships. First, the complementary strengths assessment. Before you even return that call, map out what you do exceptionally well and what your competitor does exceptionally well. The magic happens where these things don't overlap. where you're strong and they're weak, or vice versa. This isn't about finding common ground. It's about finding complementary ground. Second, market expansion. Ask yourself, can this partnership help us reach customers we couldn't reach alone? Can it help us enter markets that would be too risky or expensive to tackle individually? Premium partnerships aren't about sharing existing customers. They're about creating new customer categories. Third, the authority amplification filter. This is crucial. Every partnership should increase your perceived authority in your field, not decrease it. If collaborating with this competitor makes you look stronger, more capable, more connected, that's a green light. If it makes you look desperate or dependent, that's a red flag. Fourth, the revenue multiplication matrix. Calculate not just what you might earn from the partnership, but what you might learn. The best competitive partnerships don't just generate immediate revenue, they provide market intelligence, operational insights, and strategic perspectives that would be impossible to obtain any other way. Finally, there's the exit strategy blueprint. Before you shake hands, know exactly how you'll part ways if the partnership doesn't work. The most successful partnerships are built on clear boundaries, defined expectations, and mutual respect for each other's independent success. Now, let's talk about turning this framework into action. When you return that competitor's call, you're not going in as equals hoping for mutual benefit. You're going in as a strategic thinker who understands how to structure collaborative advantage. Start the conversation with diagnostic questions, not defensive statements. What specific market opportunity are you seeing that made you think of partnering with us? Be a good question. This immediately positions you as someone who thinks strategically about market dynamics, not just competitive dynamics. Next, present your partnership criteria clearly. We're always interested in collaborations that expand market access, enhance customer value, and strengthen industry positioning. Now, this tells them you're sophisticated about partnerships while establishing your standards. Then propose a pilot project. Never commit to a broad, undefined partnership. Instead, suggest a specific, limited scope collaboration that allows both parties to test the relationship dynamics and value creation potential. This could be a joint research project, a shared client engagement, or a co-hosted industry event. Remember, the goal isn't to become friends with your competitor. The goal is to become more valuable to your market by accessing capabilities, relationships, and opportunities that your competitor can help you reach. Most importantly, maintain your independent value proposition throughout the process. Partnership should amplify what makes you unique, not compromise it. Your competitor call because they recognize your strength. So don't negotiate that strength away in the name of collaboration. Here's the bigger picture that most leaders miss. We're moving into an era where market authority comes from orchestration, not just execution. The most successful companies aren't just good at what they do, they're good at connecting what they do with what others do to create unprecedented value. Your competitor's call isn't just about one potential partnership. It's about positioning yourself as someone who thinks strategically about market ecosystems rather than just market competition. When you handle this opportunity well, you're not just creating one revenue stream, you're establishing yourself as a collaboration worthy partner for future opportunities. The companies that thrive in the next decade won't be the ones that compete the hardest. They'll be the ones that collaborate the smartest. They'll be the ones who understand that authority comes from influence, and influence comes from being connected to value creation networks, not just individual creation or even force. So when that competitor calls back, Don't just think about what you might gain from working with them. Think about what the market will learn about your strategic thinking from how you handle this opportunity. This is just the beginning of understanding how to turn competitive threats into collaborative opportunities. The real depth comes from implementing these strategies in your specific market context with your particular competitive landscape. Continue this conversation at my Substack, which is at theauthorativefigure.substack.com. That's where the discussion deepens, where you'll find premium levels of additional content, and where you can engage with other leaders who are thinking strategically about market positioning. Or if you want to explore how these partnership strategies apply specifically to your situation, book a complimentary authority assessment call with me. You can schedule at a time that suits you via calendly.com. The link is somewhere near this video. I keep the slots limited to ensure focused, valuable discussions. Your competitor called because they recognize your market position. The question is, are you ready to think strategically about what that recognition could become? Well, thank you for watching this video today. The YouTube stats show we have thousands of viewers. I appreciate your interest. Thanks for being here. And although many return, a tiny proportion of viewers are actually subscribers. So please like and subscribe, as it means more will find this channel. Plus, you'll be the first to be notified when I release my next video. I'm committed to delivering value. If there's ever a specific topic you'd like me to cover or a challenge you're facing, please don't hesitate to let me know. Leave a message or set up that call. Either way, thank you.